All right. Welcome to HOOTY'S home, where we're going to learn how to climb up a wall. What are you doing down there? All right, it looks like you're having a little trouble climbing up walls. So let me teach you a couple trick tips how to get up there. Okay, first thing you need to do, find a wall. There's a wall right here. So what you want to do is you're going to run up that wall by putting your foot on it and then kicking off just like that. So you're going to put your foot, just kick off like that. That's called a tack. Okay, so you're doing a tack. What your tack needs to look like is your foot needs to be about hip height in order to use the wall to your advantage and jump up higher. Okay, if you got your tack down, try to tack up something next. So I'm going to tack and jump on this mat right here. So one thing I want you to remember, when you're tacking off a wall, make sure your foot's nice and straight. You don't want to have it sideways. If it's sideways, it's going to slip down. So your foot needs to be nice and straight so you can really kick off that wall. Okay, you mastered one leg. Now switch your legs up and try to tack with the opposite foot. Pretty simple. All right, so you're about to learn how to climb up a box. So you want to find a box or a ledge or something that's about head height, something that you really got to work your way up to climb up. So the first progression on how to climb up is just getting on the wall. So put your hands on the wall like this, get your feet against the wall. This is technically called a cat. We'll get into that a little later. But just hang on the wall just like this at first, and then we'll learn how to climb. So that's the basic technique of how to climb up a wall. Now there's some other secret and cool techniques to get up the wall really fast. One of them is called a support. So what a support is when you go up on the wall and you get your arms locked in like this, kind of by your hips, and you jump up, support, and then lift your legs up on the wall. So you can even practice going up and down into your support. Okay, so you're having a little trouble still getting up the wall. So here's a little hack, and that hack is a tack. Press your foot on the wall and push yourself up. Try to push yourself up into that support. All right, so here's the most advanced way to climb up a wall, and that's without really using your feet on the wall. The only foot you're going to use is that tacking foot. You're going to tack up, and you're going to do something that's called a Kong up. It's where you put your arms into that support, and you push yourself up so hard that you get your feet on here without touching them multiple times on the box. So like this. And that's a Kong up. Okay, so what this basically is when you're tacking up, you're going to have your arms kind of in that support position, kind of like with those elbows bent. But what you're going to do is you're going to pop yourself up like a big push-up, and that's going to lift your legs all the way up here without having to touch the wall with your feet. The only foot that should touch is that tacking foot. The rest is all in your arms. Like I said, this is a very advanced technique, and we'll go into Kongs in a little later time. All right, guys, you're ready for your wall ride. So what you need to know is your tack, for one. Instead of tacking away from the wall, you're tacking up the wall. So you're going to use one foot to tack up, and then you're going to place your other foot on the wall and tack up again. If you feel like you can't tack up anymore, you're going to do one final tack away from the wall. So it should look like something like this. 1, 2, 3, tack away. One thing you want to do is find a nice slanted wall to practice on first. It's a lot easier than doing it on a straight vertical wall. So find a wall that has a nice little slant on it to practice your wall runs, because this is much easier than this over here. This one, you're going to probably have to use a little bit of your climbing abilities to get all the way up there. All right, guys, there's two ways to use your wall run. So you can wall run at a slight angle sideways, or you can wall run vertically up a wall. So I'm going to show you a quick sideways wall run. So I'm going to wall run all the way up this mat sideways. All right, what you want to do a slight angled wall run or a sideways wall run, you're going to take the foot that is closest to the wall, and that's going to be your first step on the wall. Then your second step will be the other foot, and then so on and so on. So a vertical wall run is the easier of the two, because it doesn't matter which foot you start with. You can start with your left, your right. The only difference is you're just going to have to go up with it. So make sure you use whatever your dominant foot is as your first step, and then go up as far as you can, or as high as you can. Okay, so here's a couple things I see that a lot of students have problems with when they're trying to first learn a wall run. First one is they're leaning back too far as they're trying to run up. And if you lean back too far up, you're not going to go that high. So make sure you're leaning kind of into the wall as you're running up. Now, I'm not saying lean all the way into the wall, because then you're just going to body slam. And I've seen kids do that. All right, a quick side note about wall runs. So to do a good wall run, you really need to find some shoes that are really grippy. Check back at the beginning of my parkour tutorials, episode 0, and find out what type of shoe you need. Okay, so you can also add your beginner rolls to this wall run technique. So you can tack into a parkour roll. So combine everything that you're learning, and you can come up with some really fun combos. All right, guys, thank you for joining me for another HOOTY'S World episode. I'm glad you had fun. Please go try these techniques outside. Get off the computer. Go do some fun stuff. And I'll see you next time. Just before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. And if you don't want to do that, then you're flipping crazy.